everyone else is out celebrating Halloween, and I said, nope, I want to talk about a Rusical.
Very Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, very Halloween indeed. And you know what? We'll celebrate just a little bit. We'll celebrate just a little bit. How about put a little
Lana, yeah, Lana's and myself's favorite color. So yeah.
And mine. And mine.
Yes, yeah.
I am also purple is also my favorite color. So we'll go with this for today. A little spooky since we're filming on Halloween. But hello everyone. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Micha. Say something gay. I've got, because I knew that Micha, you would have tea today, so I also brought tea. Iced tea today, because Lord knows I need the caffeine. It has been a long day for me. And as always, cup mug is on hand. You can get yours at lanagcreationsetsy.com. That link is in the description below. And right up there in that beautiful QR code, you can scan it right now. It does work. We've tested it. So you can go get your cup mug. And we thank you.
Yeah. Hi and hello, I'm Micha, your Persian correspondent, and I'm drinking caramel tea because I already had my Halloween party pretty early on, and I've had 2 coffees today while explaining what a wombat is for a couple of French girls. So yeah.
Okay. How interesting. Love that. Okay.
And we've never had a lip-sync song to the Wombats, which ironically Brits who are Brits and not Australians, but why not?
Maybe Down Under versus the world.
Exactly.
Maybe Down Under versus the world. Hey, that's actually a great segue because we're going to get into this episode. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, all the things. Hit the notification bell so you know when we put out all our content. And make sure to check out our Patreon and our YouTube membership here on this channel, where we just put out our live reaction to the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under versus the World Season 1. That will be only on Patreon and YouTube membership. So make sure to check that out, with plenty more videos coming in the future very shortly. So stay tuned for all of that. You can check out everything we're doing here across the Cup Network. All the links for that are in the description below, as well as our social media. At the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And if you want to follow me and Micha, you can check us out down in the description below as well. All the lovely, fabulous, and fantastic things. And we'll talk about it a little bit more later as well. But if you want to check out our exit interview with this week's eliminated queen, that is already available on the channel. You can check that out as well. But we come back into the workroom after Chai. Chai is gone.
Yeah. Chai. And she left a very polite mirror message also.
She did. And then the way that they're reading it, I'm like, girls, tell me you don't know what Sawadika means without telling me you don't know what Sawadika means.
At least one of them pronounced it almost correctly, so it was kind of a good flashback to
I'm
vagina.
Like, thank God it was almost. I'm like, girls, come on now. Can we learn? Can we learn? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not shading the girls too much right now.
If I was chatting around and I was thinking that I was eliminated kind of prematurely, which we all think so, let's face it, because we named our best look reward after her, I would probably write the whole message in Thai. In Thai script. Yeah.
I would have loved if she had written the entire thing in Thai. It would have been so good. So good. But she didn't. And that's okay. But the girls are talking about Selexa's win. Terrace gets asked how she feels to crush melons on the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race. And Paige still doesn't have a badge.
Yeah, but Paige has a very backhanded compliment towards Bones, saying, "Oh my God, Bones, when you walked from behind the stage to the front, that was so fierce." And Bones, for a millisecond, takes it like on the first degree, not as an irony. It was kind of obviously was, or
Uh-huh.
maybe wasn't? Question mark. And
I
I was like,
can't
yeah,
tell. Yeah,
yeah,
I was
because
like,
I'm sure Paige was feeling her feels and like knowing the
uh-huh.
shadiness and knowing their very weird relationship, which is kind of one-sided, like giving kind of Darren versus Bendel energy when Bones is never like snapping at Paige and Paige is usually snapping at Bones for some reason. I thought that was kind of a backhanded compliment. Bones was like, "Okay, girls, I'm ready to slay any one of you by walking up the stage that fiercely." It was kind of... And the Paige's face was priceless when she said that. Yeah.
I'm like, I think most of the girls in that room could have beaten Bones in this lip sync, and I still think Chai did. No shade, Bones. No shade to Bones. I love Bones, but I still think.
Yeah, it was just kind of not her week at all, and probably only like the track record and RuPaul's penchant for twinks overall across the franchises, maybe because of that. Yeah, because otherwise, yeah, I'm sure Bones can beat like 2/3 of the cast to almost every like high energy song, but this was just like, yeah, not her. She was in her head very much. But yeah. So we.
And we move very quickly to next day in the workroom.
Yeah.
There's not much fluff. We get right into it. Rue walks in, and we find out that it is the Rusical. It is Peter Pansy, the Rusical. About time that we got a Peter Pan Rusical.
Anywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like...
on any franchise.
Yeah, it feels like one of those concepts that I feel like would have already been done between 17 seasons of US, 10 seasons of All Stars, and 6 prior seasons of UK. Like, it makes sense that we're doing it on UK. I'm glad we're finally doing it. We'll talk about the end result later. Celexa gets to assign the roles because she won last week's challenge. And this is where things get a little bit interesting, a little bit peculiar, a little bit... Yeah.
I wouldn't say spicy. It was like, very unseasoned, but interesting. Because usually we have much brighter fights among like Rusical roles distribution, even in the UK. I mean, we've had quite a few. But this one felt, almost everybody was like getting what they want all at once, except for Tayris. That's
except for Tayris. Yeah. And I did appreciate the way that Celexa went about it. She was like, well, everyone let me know what roles you're interested in. Let's see, what the group is looking at. And Tayris said 3 damn different roles. And didn't get a single one of them. Now, if I'm being honest, I do think the role she got was probably the role that, like, fit her best. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I think the only other role I could have seen her really doing personally, and this is just me, based on, the final product that we saw, I think the role maybe I think she could have done the best in otherwise would have been the Captain Hook role.
Exactly. My thoughts. Exactly. I thought exactly the same. Yeah. It was like she could have like done as good as Bonnie in that role. But after all, she's not mad that she got the croc because, hey, she's in her developing burgeoning couple together with our dear Catherine. Yeah. So.
It was, and I will talk about it more later, but I am really glad that, I wasn't alone in feeling a little bit... It felt a little heavy. And it didn't feel intentionally heavy given everything going on in that workroom, but it definitely was like, oh, Tayris is the one not getting the role she wants. Okay. Okay. And I definitely noted that, and I was like, okay, huh.
Yeah. And that's a great pin to the Untucked we'll be discussing later.
Yes. Definitely.
should bring it up.
Definitely.
But also, I mean, the heavy-handedness of the lover storyline is also pretty apparent this episode because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that we ever had Michelle or one of the main judges addressing that like heads-on in the rehearsal. Yeah, that was interesting.
No, because I'm trying to think back to even like Corey and Lydia on season 17, and they didn't really bring it up at all ever. Like
exactly.
I'm pretty sure all the judges found out like during the lip sync when Corey went home.
And yeah, it was brought up verbally by Lydia herself during the roast when Corey was already gone. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. Or like Brangie also. All the queens knew that, they discussed it, but before the reunion, it was also not brought up by either Ru or Michelle or any of the judges. So
it really, for me, I kind of lived for it because it felt like Michelle was kind of like, ooh, wait, I want the tea. Like, it felt very much so like like Michelle kind of broke character for a second and was like, wait, what's the tea? Wait. Like, it felt very mom Michelle. It felt, actually, it felt very Down Under host Michelle a little bit in that like mom kind of, very personable. Not that Michelle isn't, but sometimes when she's in her like judge mentor role, we get the kind of like the very straight-laced Michelle. But in this, she very much so broke and was like, wait, that's adorable. What? And I liked seeing it.
Exactly. Yeah. I think she could literally have done it during Down Under 4 by saying, oh, Max and Freya, have you already kissed, or something like this.
Right. And we saw bits and pieces of that too, because they did bring it up during Down Under 4 with the Max and Freya storyline. But I was like, wait, and we haven't seen much of that from Michelle this season. And I was like, yes, Michelle. I like seeing this Michelle again. I like seeing it. But yeah, we got vocal rehearsals with Michelle. People are doing as well or as not well as I expected them to.
Maybe I would say who was like a nice surprise in the rehearsal. Just like again after last week's mixing disaster of the song, I was actually impressed by Bone's vocals because we know she explained on Instagram later on that was like a last minute mishap of if I'm mistaken, there is like a trance artist, a trance producer who was mixing that song. It was like a last minute mistake, and that's why the mixing was so like them. Let's face it, one of the worst we've ever had all across the franchise. But yeah, this week it was like very refreshing to hear her voice, and Elle that she could like hit so many notes. This is also impressive because original track was not like that that much of a vocal showcase. But this week her vocals like showed up. The pipes were there.
Well, she is a karaoke queen, so I wasn't all that surprised to see that she, had a good, had a really, really strong vocal. Bones did surprise me. I just with also the character that she picked. I was happy to see it as well. I think it was a strong choice for her. Selexa's struggling a little bit. There's choices that are needing to be made by everybody, but some people are getting it, some people aren't, and then we kind of see that as well in our dance rehearsal with Claudemar. Some people are getting it, some people aren't, and it's pretty standard Rusical Prep, all that kind of stuff. Nothing really is surprising me here. The girls that I figured would do well in this kind of challenge are doing well, and the girls that aren't. Like it's not surprising to me.
True. I'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, this is really just a very straight-laced episode. Like, and it's and that's not a bad thing at all. Because ultimately the product we got was so fun.
Exactly. UK Rusicals have been delivering since, well, pretty much almost every one of them. UK 2 was great. UK 4 was great. UK 5 was great. UK 6 was great. I mean,
All of them have been absolutely great.
And also with live vocals. So, yeah, very impressive.
All the live vocals. I do love when they're getting ready in the workroom and Sally's like, I love that all the musical theater twinks are doing their best job here. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just like trying to hang on. And I was like, oh, is that foreshadowing? Is that an omen? Yeah. It was.
Unfortunately, yes. Because otherwise, you wouldn't say like the Sally was so much like struggling in her head during the rehearsal. I mean, yeah, we got that she was not like the biggest vocalist, but for her role, she picked exactly the character where she could like basically handle gender through it, and that's what she kind of did. But
yeah. And then Elle is talking again about if Paige doesn't get a badge this week, steam might be coming out of her ears. I don't know. They're really trying to Jan Page 3. And I don't know why. Like it doesn't make sense to me.
I think my only explanation also like all across the franchises we've ever seen, it was like kind of the Jan archetype becomes apparent when the Queen herself episode after episode says like, the badge is mine. I'm hungry. I'm starving for the badge. And yeah, sometimes like it feels like they're edging her. Or sometimes we have a Lucilla Duca case when she already has a win, but still she's like edging herself even more, even after the win. So yeah, I mean, and Paige did express frustration multiple times, so that's why there's probably kind of a talk in the workroom.
Yeah, it's the storylines they're giving some people are really interesting for me because it's like I would understand if Paige was a bit more delusional about her performance. Paige has not flopped a single week of this competition.
Yeah.
So I'm like...
Yeah. If anything, she was in the bottom 3 for no reason at all last week. So.
For literally no reason at all. So like...
But it's very interesting case of life imitating art, imitating life, because the role she chose for herself is kind of very on edge because of, we'll talk about it just like in a couple of minutes, of the loss of this magic elixir of like eternal youth, the fountain of youth. So yeah, it's kind of funny how it also imitated.
Right. It's very interesting the way that everything, and then the music producer going, this role was meant for you. I'm like, so you're calling her an aging twink. Got it. Okay. Damn, sir. But I think with that, I think we should just go to the runway.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's where we're at. So let's do it. I think RuPaul looks great this week.
I think it's my favorite RuPaul look of the entire season so far. Literally, I gasped.
I'm gonna run through the other RuPaul looks really quick because I think
there was another one which was very, very
close. The gold ensemble. I really liked that. It was episode 2. The ombre, the sequin ombre, the red, white, and blue sequin ombre. I really like that one as well. This is a very, very good RuPaul look. Ru's been looking great this season, period. But this is very classic, true to form RuPaul. Gorge hair, love the dress, love all of it, and the classic kind of Ru latex glove. Like she looks absolutely stunning here. Michelle in our favorite color.
Exactly. Also,
so I'm not
Halloween webby vibes. Yeah.
Very, very that. This whole panel is somehow giving Halloween a little bit, and I'm not mad at that in the slightest. Graham looking like Graham. Sure. A standard Graham Norton look. And our guest judge, Maz Murray, looking beautiful.
Exactly. Looking like Elaine Page's daughter, which is funny because she gave that critique later on.
I know. I was like, baby. But no, everybody looks great. Everybody looks lovely. Everybody looks wonderful. And we move to our Rusical. So we have Paige as Peter Pansy, Elle as Wendy, Bones as Granny, and also the dog.
The dog.
Celexa as Tinkerbell. Bonnie. It's so stupid. Bonnie as Captain Hooker and Sally as Smeg, and then Taris and Katrin as the Croc Destroyers 1 and 2 respectively. Because of course they have to make a Cock Destroyers joke every opportunity that they can. Rest in peace, Sophie. We love you. But yes, on a whole, I thought this was an absolutely incredibly produced Rusical, and I think literally all 8 of them did such a spectacular job in this.
Indeed.
This season is such a good season of drag. And I think everyone did such a great job in this Rusical. There wasn't a weak link, to be honest with you. There are some people that didn't shine as strongly as others, but overall everyone did such a great job in this, and the overall product was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I fully agree. This, like most of UK live Rusicals, could have been a top 2 non-elimination week instead of I
think every single one of them, to be honest with you.
True. Very true. And I especially loved how musically which genres were incorporated. I loved the parody of Bing Bang Bong for pirate version of UK Han, this vaudeville kind of pub rock version, and also how they interpolated with, oh my God, Pangina and Jenny, Vinegar Boys song, the Vinegar Boys cover, because we like to party. It was a genius interpolation, and I'm not mad at this.
Yeah, the interpolation of so many different songs in this was so good. I think it was really smartly written as well, and I always appreciate when the Rusicals are smartly written. I think everyone did such a great job. For me, I had a top 3. That was not necessarily the top 3 that the judges had, and that was just me.
Okay.
It was just me. For me, my top 3 would have been Paige, Elle, and Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
I would have actually probably had a top 4 because I also really liked what Bones did. Those 4 for me were the strongest performers of the evening. I think it was really that top half that really, that trio of Paige, Elle, and Bones just really, really did knock it out of the park and really anchored this Rusical so well. So I was not surprised in the slightest when they were the top 3, and I can't be upset in the slightest because they did such a good job together, while still also standing out in their own individual ways, and I really appreciated that. I do just wish that Bonnie had gotten acknowledgement for what she did as well, because I really think she took a role that was not necessarily built for her and made it something that was really built for her, and I really appreciated what she did with the role. And I thought she knocked it out of the park as well.
Indeed, I would fully agree with that. It needed a top 4. Just having watched it the first time with the top 3, the judges picked. I'm not mad at this at all. Elle slayed vocally. Bones really took a huge risk and really wanted to be out of the bottom, so she took probably the most contrasting role to her drag character and slayed it. And Paige, hands down, was the lead role, and she had so many inflections and whatnot and change of character, and it was very good. I totally agree that Bonnie made the role. Actually, Bonnie, and I was kind of I was starting to feel worried for Sally, having watched it the first time, because Bonnie was so much in her element there. It kind of reminded me, oddly enough, not of the Rusical, but of how Ginger, our Sean Kane Deho all the way back in season 7 during the Despies. It was kind of that dynamic, like, the star and the sidekick, like, this like kind of semi-alcoholic
Very
Betty, but her star and her sidekick. Yeah, I was kind of worried for Celexa, just like watching it for the first time, because not only she got a Tinkerbell role, and I was like, oh my god, if they would added more farting to her role, if it was like Daytona wins, exactly. Yep. She would be even more in trouble. But also, her role was giving very much Banksy's Wicked Witch during Panther Rusical, and that was, if you're not like doing over the top for it, like the characterization, you're kind of in trouble.
And she wasn't. That's really the difficulty with Celexa here for me, because, and that's kind of the difficulty for me with the other 4 characters, between Sally, Celexa, Katrin, and Tayris here, because they all did a very good job. I will say none of them did a bad job, but the difference maker was these 4 were not the over actors. They were the actors, and did a good job. And I agree with you completely. Celexa's role is one of those roles where you need to overact it in order to really get like that big, over the top, memorable situation. And for me, and we saw it in the trailer for next week's episode, I would have had Celexa in the bottom. I actually, for me personally, and it sucks because I like everybody left in the competition, but for me personally, I would have swapped out both of the bottom 2. And my 2 weakest performers in this were actually Celexa and Katrin. I personally did not understand the critique of Tayris' performance whatsoever. I don't know if there was a second run of the Rusical that we didn't see as the audience, where Tayris was kind of, muffling some of the words. I watched the Rusical 3 times, because after I watched it the first time, saw that Tayris was in the bottom, and heard her get that critique, I paused and went back and literally rewatched it at that exact moment, because I was like, I'm so confused by that critique. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. And I still stand by that after watching it 3 times. I don't get that at all. I think, and that's just my perception, I think Tayris slightly overshadowed Katrin here, and that's just me. By a touch.
This is like the only negative, straw of this entire thing, because the Tayris critique kind of tied to what she said in the Untucked. I also agree with you. Tayris wouldn't have been in my bottom 2 by a mile. She wouldn't even be low. I would still have, unfortunately, Sally in the bottom 2, just because Bonnie really outshined her fiercely, and just because of that, because she did nothing wrong, and for a non-dancer and non-singer, she still did stupendously. Well, yes, and the other person in the bottom 2, I agree with you completely, would have been still Celexa for me. And Katrin, I agree that she was kind of, especially. It's kind of, the most improved award. That's why you say it, because she wasn't like originally a good dancer, but we already saw in the dance rehearsal that she was keeping up with Tayris. And during the Rusical, even having rewatched it, I wouldn't say that she was losing her movements or whatnot, because they were pretty much in sync. But I agree with you. I think Tayris kind of was the shining star of the 2 Crocs. I would still I would probably swap, have Katrin as low, but still not in the bottom 2. I still think that Sally was kind of less shining, and that duo was more Earth and Moon, whereas Katrin and Tayris were like Deimos and Phobos.
That's fair. No, I think that's fair. I think ultimately for me, like Tayrus would have been the safe of those four, and I think it really it's a for me it's a toss up between those other three as far as the bottom two. Because I'm remembering now a lot more of like Sally's like direct interaction with Bonnie, and you're right, there wasn't, she does kind of directly get overshadowed there. And then I think there's other parts of the Rusical where she does stand out a lot in the group sections. She is doing, like, you can see in the group section she's able to kind of pick things up a little bit, and she does stand out a little bit more in the group section. It's just that specific two-person interaction where it, like, that's where, we see it very distinctly. It's really a toss-up for me.
But to just jump on the bandwagon, I'll look straight into your camera, say, for all the future drag queens who are decided to play Banksy/Selexa's role, play it like Willow Peel as Kylie Minogue as the absent Green Fairy. Because when you get this role, do this, do overplay it as much as you can. Because otherwise, even like with doing a good job is kind of not enough. But Tayrus's critiques, that gave me a really bad taste in my mouth, because it reminded me of Tace's and Ellie's pair in season 2, the Rusical, where we had exactly the same situation. Michelle saying, "Tace, you're mumbling. We couldn't understand your Welsh accent." And now we had the very same critiques for Tayrus, and like also the only POC queen left. Well, back then there was also Tia Coffee. There were two in season 2 Rusical, but here, and Tayrus directly addresses it, like almost breaking the fourth wall, saying, "Yes, you know how I feel." Very Untucked.
Yeah. It all in all, though, all 8 queens put on a phenomenal Rusical, and I was absolutely thrilled with it. So, job well done, ladies. Great job. It should have been a top 2.
Yeah. It should have.
But we don't have the space in the season because it's episode 6.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 more competitive episodes left after this, and there's still 8 queens. So.
True. And we haven't eliminated Bestie in the first episode. I mean, I'm not mad at this, but yeah.
Exactly. It's just one of those situations.
Yeah.
But let's move to our runway. Category is Battle Axe Warrior Queens. Obviously, we're going to talk in full unlook over here, but we'll give some teabag opinions here. Starting out with Miss Katrin Feelings.
She was doing a very, 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 very updated version of her Brythonic heroine. I mean, I'm all for Celtic ultra powered women overpowering, but here it was a bit confusing. It was kind of, Lawrence Chaney earlier in her drag, just picking a rapier, a sword of sorts. I would give this a very tepid T.
I'm going to give it T. I like the inspiration. I like, how true to inspiration it was. This is one of my favorite things Katrin's worn on the runway this season, to be honest with you. I enjoy it. Page 3 in a bikini.
And did.
And what about it? Because you know what, judges? I didn't hear y'all say a damn thing to her this week. Where was the critique about the bikinis this week, huh? Oh, because she's in the top. Y'all ain't going to talk about the bikinis? Oh, because she did well, y'all ain't going to talk about the bikinis? Oh, it's almost like y'all came up with the bikini critique because you needed some reason to put her in the bottom 3 last week for absolutely no reason. Huh?
Oh, indeed. I mean, I really enjoy how her bra is giving cat eyes. That's so cool. I mean, this eye pupils, super cool. Like dilating bras is probably our first. Is giving the superhero. She did the assignment. I think it's still kind of a safe look for her. She could like could have made it much more super heroine-esque, heroine-ish, but still it's very good tea. It's very warm, pleasant tea.
I love this. This is hot tea for me because I love the wrestling influence to this. I think that is so fun. I can't wait to hear Lana's thoughts on this look. Because Lana is one of the resident wrestling fans of the pod. So I'm very excited to hear her thoughts. But no, this is hot tea for me. I love this. This is one of my favorite things Paige has worn this season, to be honest with you. It's so good. Bones is up next. Bones.
Well, Bones, who got quite a few times almost the same critique as like it bordered on stop relying on that body, but it was never like said explicitly to her. She was like, no, this week I'm doing everything differently. I'm totally switching the character, and I'm totally switching my runway look from whatever. Like it's totally different from what she has on the entire season. Do I get like superhero without her voiceover? Not necessarily, but I think it's still cool. Yeah, it's like for the sheer difference towards her package, it's still tea. Does it fit the category? Well, Randy is not with us tonight. I would say it's passable. It's passable. Still a pretty hot tea.
I'm very excited to hear his thoughts on this as well. I'm gonna give it this beautiful, lovely, strong iced tea that I'm drinking because I don't get it as much for the category. It's not fitting as much for the category for me. But, however, I love this look on Bones. I see it not as much for the category, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it on Bones. And I like the switch up. I agree with you. I like that there's a little bit of a switch up for her. I appreciate it. It's nice to see. Terrace. And you know it's her because she's got a cage on her face that says her name.
Exactly. I mean, I love this look. I don't care what the judges said. I get both the memo. I get like the despair is really cool, and she worked it like the critics were so weird about her weaponry, as if she was like Mercedes Simone Diamond with her bow and arrow, which was really a bit laughable and unfortunate. But I mean, Terrace was slaying. She was stomping. I adore the boots coverage. I mean, this faux fur on her looks divine. The mask, we've seen it quite a few times, the first mask on Drag Race, but never in this combo, never like with those materials on her body. So for me, it's very hot tea.
Baby, this was everything. This is everything. I adore this look. I immediately got Black Panther Party. I got what she was doing. I knew exactly where she was going.
Yeah.
I saw it. I see the vision. I know the vision. I appreciate the vision. Thank you, Terrace. Thank you. This is hot tea. This is the hottest of tea. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you.
Also, what a genius silhouette. I mean, the waist is given almost B in the best possible way.
Oh
like
my God.
B. Yeah.
So good. It's so good. Oh. I have to move on because I will just keep talking about this. I'm excited to talk about it and look over here.
Yeah. We should.
Oh. Bonnie!
Well, Budisha be blessed be. It's some alliteration with B, not Bojack. No, I love this look. Like, I mean, this is very unique and different for her, literally. I mean, she really waited for week 6 to turn up this body, and she even didn't get to the critiques, but that's why she should have been in the top 4. Even if RuPaul would give her some dumb Irish critics saying, "Oh, the red, like something of Ireland, like 25 stereotypes." I don't care. I love this look for Bonnie, and also speaking of switching gears and showing up something new, this is hot tea.
I love that we're getting something different from Bonnie. I was like, body. Okay, body. I'm here for it. It's hot tea. I really appreciated this. I it's so clean and beautifully well done. Everything is detail work down to a T, but that's what we've come to expect from Bonnie, except in the design challenge. But that was a fluke. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, and the color scheme.
And
so good.
Hot tea, so good, so good. Sally.
Another one, just week by week, back to back. Another one, and she went home in this.
And she went home in this.
Girl. That's freaking genius. And also, I'm sure it was not planned at all, but this is such a great callback to her almost like skeleton-like character in the Rusical. It's so cool that they're tied together unwittingly, totally like unplanned. But this is Chaiti Grande, I would actually say. This is phenomenal. One of a kind, never before seen. Totally heroin.
Correct. It's just absolutely phenomenal in every possible way. I love this look. Duh. Just.
Yeah. Project Runway, take her. Give her the
my
crown.
God, yeah. Oh my God, absolutely. I would love it. Please. Yes. Selects addiction.
Giving us wasp. In human form.
Wasp.
Here's the silhouette and the color look so great on her. I still wish there was something more, but I can't quite put my finger. It seems like if she were a sidekick or a heroine, another female power figure, but kind of, the second role, I don't even know why I get this vibe. Like, I watched this twice on her runway, and it feels not that she was like sheepish or timid. No, she was like stomping, but it kind of felt like, supporting role vibes for some reason. I don't know, but still it's hot tea. The look is very beautiful.
Yeah, it's tea for me. It's a classic Celexa silhouette done in such a beautiful way. Color palette, everything is to a T. It's tea. So well done. Love this. Love it. And last up, Elle Vosk.
That outfit kind of pushed her to her second badge, I think, because Elle was, I would say, well, the judges loved everything she was doing this season. We get it. For us, overall in the cup, I think it was kind of hit or miss, her fashions here and there. And she looks, but this one is great. Yeah, this one is totally reimagined, like Irish mythical creature. The details are literally insane. It's given Fabergé egg deconstructed, but make it Irish, make it Celtic. Love it. I actually give it second Chaiti Grande of the week. This is my favorite outfit so far.
Love that. This is tea for me. I think all of the elements really work together. I think it's so good for Elle. A bit cluttered, just a tad, but it all still works beautifully. And I love the Celtic inspiration that she went with here. But as someone with Celtic roots, I'm always going to love whenever there's any kind of beautiful Celtic representation on Drag Race. So I love it. So good tea for me. Loves it. So what a good runway. Such a good runway. I'm excited to talk more about it and look over here, which we will do. We get
nobody flopped, but then we'll get Randy. When we'll get Randy, and Randy was like, no, 20 out of 100 because somebody haven't completed the assignment.
I'm like, it's fine. We'll see what happens. But we get our judging. We find out that Bonnie and Katrin are safe. Okay. Sure. Great. Was there anything from the judging that stood out to you, or Untucked that stood out to you, my dear?
Well, I already said that, about Terrace and how that was kind of a very unfortunate critique and, just a very weird way to put her in her head. But otherwise, no, nothing else. Yeah. I think everything else was pretty cut and dry.
It's again, y'all. It's just it's a cut and dry episode. Like that's really and Untucked is really like other than the Tayra situation, which we can talk about now directly, where she brings up on the runway, you know, not necessarily being the happiest with her role. And I said situation. Let me clarify that. Tayris is concerned. I don't want to call it a situation because it's not a situation. Let me retract that verbiage there. Tayris' concerns. And they're completely valid concerns. You know, about being the only POC left in the competition, you know, which then puts a lot of pressure on her, not only being the only Black contestant, but being the only POC left in the competition in a history of Drag Race UK where POCs do not tend to do well. That is a trend, unfortunately. I wish I didn't have to say that, but it is. And ultimately, I actually thought Rue's response was quite lovely, to be honest with you. You know, speaking in generalities, which, okay, sure, yes. Because you cannot compare race to sexuality to, you know, all of necessarily. You can't always compare all of these things to one another equally. I'll say that. You can compare them. They're not always going to be equal. But I did think Rue's response was actually quite poignant, being like, you always have to work harder. And whether you're queer, whether you're Black, whether you're a POC, regardless of what you have stacked against you, you're always going to have to work harder. And that is, you know, something you have to keep on you. But when you succeed, it's going to be even better because you've had so much stacked against you. I thought it was quite a wonderful conversation between Rue and Tayris, to be honest with you.
Indeed. At first, when Rue just opened her mouth, I was slightly worried when she started, because I think, oh my God, is it going like season 10 reunion situation or Scarlett Adams down on the one situation? But no, thank God she really walked the thin line, and I think it was pretty encouraging. And Tayris was left concerned, but not like baby crying 3 seasons prior, because Rue was like scolding her for not being good,
Right.
for trying to be a student when, I mean, it's a completely different situation.
Yeah, you can tell that Rue likes this cast of queens. And it's become very evident, at least for me, while watching a Drag Race season, when Rue likes a cast of queens. It's like, okay, cool. I can tell that, like, and we get Sally getting told that she's special and unique and that she's a star. On, I think, literally the same episode she told Octavia last season.
She went home, exactly.
Yeah, literally the same episode that Octavia went home last season. And I'm like, okay, cinematic parallels. Jesus, okay. I love that Octavia called it out on socials too. I was like, yeah, girl, we all thought the same thing. I was like, all right, sure.
I mean, the logical evolution would be on UK8, RuPaul would say somebody, you were born to be on stage, you were born to drag, and that same episode, this person goes home.
Yeah. Whoever gets told that you're born to do drag, you're going home that episode. I'm so sorry. UK8, hold on for dear life. Like, ooh. And then the Untucked conversation that does kind of follow what Tayris had brought up on the main stage, you know, is just a continuation of, you know, Tayris expressing to the whole group her concerns. Celexa being apologetic again, which I do really appreciate just how forthright Celexa has been throughout the entire process, being like, I don't want you to feel this way. I'm sorry that you feel this way. And Terrace fully acknowledging it's something that I need to deal with, while also acknowledging that it is something that's happening. And I think the complexity of the situation is that both things can be true at once.
Exactly.
Like, it can be that it isn't personal, it's drag, but also it is shitty that Terrace is the one in this situation in a competition where she's the only POC left against 7 white queens. Now, that's not any of these queens' fault. And so, like, Terrace is so gracious with her energy as well. And I could tell that from her. And it's something that I really, really admire about her. I just really appreciate the way that she's just so gracious with her energy and with the way that she wants to approach everything. It can't be an easy situation to be in. I will never know what that feels like. But she's doing it with such beauty that you have no choice but to stand. Like,
Exactly.
that's really, like, you have no choice but to fall in love with her, because she's navigating this incredibly complex situation with just the utmost poise and elegance, where frankly she doesn't need to, but she is. And it's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable.
Not only that, but yeah, she was like, okay, yeah, I'm in this like shitty situation. I'm gonna be lip syncing, but she's like, okay, I've had this conversation, and now I'm preparing my words. So it really feels that she can process it like in real time and not let it get to her, which is phenomenal. I mean, this is so admirable, and exactly like you said, it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
I love Terrace.
It's not an issue we should keep having on Drag Race UK, but such is the situation, I guess. Would be nice to not have to deal with this. But we get our results. We come back on the main stage. Our top 3, as we've mentioned, Paige, Bones, and Elle, definitely. And they decide to give a double win to Paige and Elle, so that way Elle can get her second badge and also not have to hear Paige complain about not having a badge anymore.
Yeah, I love this. I love this confessional from Elle, but also it's like the first time that UK Rusical had a double win.
And I'm not mad at it.
Exactly.
I think it could have been a solo win. I think that solo win could have and should have gone to Page 3.
Exactly.
Because for me, she was the best in the Rusical. And that's nothing to take away from Elle's performance. I thought she was the second best in the Rusical. But there were just these moments of facial expression from Paige that just really sold me, and she was just fully in the fantasy. And I loved every single bit of what Paige did in this Rusical, and I was so happy that she got rewarded. And I'm thrilled that Elle did as well. Absolutely. Like, I was so thrilled for Elle. I did not think Elle Vosk would be the first person to 2 wins on this season, but hey.
Me neither.
There we go.
Okay, this badge is much less controversial for her than on week 1, so not mad at this at all.
Absolutely. We then get our bottom 3, Terrace, Celexa, and Sally, with a bottom 2 of Terrace and Sally. And then they play the lip sync song. And I have been waiting patiently. Because what do you mean it took this many seasons for them to use Don't Rain on My Parade? Finally.
Exactly.
Finally.
Yeah,
Ah, yes.
it happens.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. We
Oh,
even used it in one of the worst musicals of all time. I mean,
I
how Rosé
know.
slayed, yeah,
I
social media, but
know.
still, yeah. Finally,
Ugh.
it's there. And in young Shirley Bassey's vocals, I mean, Dame Shirley is very, very vocal there. She does have the range, as
She
Love
has the
Water.
range. She does have the range. Now, I'm going to speak directly here to Plasma for a second. Plasma, come to the front. Plasma, I understand that you are a Barbra Streisand fan. I understand that specifically, and I understand that distinctly. They didn't need to use the Barbara version here. They were perfectly fine using the Dame Shirley Bassey version. Get over it. Move on. Not everyone needs to use the Barbara version. You can use it, and that's fine. I love you, Plasma. I love you dearly. Get over it. Anyway, because this version was phenomenal and fantastic and lovely, and these two queens absolutely killed this song.
I totally agree. This was such a great lip sync overall.
Oh, it was so good.
The greatest surprise was that Sally was really keeping up with Tyrese for the most part of it.
Yes.
And yeah, they did a great job together. And I loved every time the camera cut to Michelle, who was lip syncing every word.
And I was lip syncing every word alongside both of them and Michelle lip syncing every word of it. It was the cut of the song was so interesting too, because it started and I was like, oh, we're starting in the middle. Okay. I didn't mind it.
Exactly, but because they left all the crescendos and all the like cool vocal parts for it, and each time the camera got to Tyrese, I think that's why she ultimately won, not because of the movement necessarily, but because how she emoted the vibratos. It was so cool to see her entire face like being so alive.
It's all of those little hits. This is it's a drag standard. Like so it's important to have the nuance and those little moments. I've got to have my cake, sir. Like, and she had the nuances. And so did Sally. Sally did such a phenomenal job in this lip sync. I loved every bit of it. Her walk, like there was something just so captivating about the way that she traveled across the stage that I just absolutely adored. It was just that. It was traveling across the stage in this beautiful way. That was just kind of electrifying and beautiful. And then Tyrese kind of just like standing in one place and like not moving as much, but still just commanding the song. And they both had every bit of themselves wrapped around this song. It was just, as someone who's wanted this song and loves Dame Shirley Bassey, and I've wanted this song for years, I couldn't have asked for a better lip sync, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was great. It was really, really good.
So good.
And
I do agree. I think the stronger of the two performances, if I had to name one, was Tyrese here. And that does mean that we lost Sally. That sucks.
That does suck. Especially because, she could have given so much more to this. She was like such a unique voice and unique look, which traveled uniquely all across the stage. And also she gave us a great exit line.
I'll see you in court. Goodbye. I have no doubt in my mind the way that RuPaul sent her home, she will be back on something the moment RuPaul can get her and she is available and wants to come back on Drag Race. 100%. Like the way Ru talked about her in this episode alone, and then you don't always get a Ru anecdote after someone walks off stage. And in this case, she's like, and the funny part is she's serious. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, Sally is Sally is someone that is going to be remembered by RuPaul and absolutely will be back on Drag Race. I am not worried in the slightest for Sally. It sucks to lose her here, but I'm thrilled for her regardless.
I also think she's gonna get plenty of orders from other drag queens for their looks. Maybe not only drag queens.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, she could very easily become like the British Suki Doll.
Exactly.
And just start, if she really wanted to, she could make an entire career out of just making clothes for drag queens.
She's a fashion house all by herself.
She's got a trademark already.
Indeed.
Boom. But we love you, Sally. We love you dearly. And go check out our interview with Sally because she was an absolute delight. Loved every bit of Sally. Yeah, that's that on that. I need to talk about the draft because the draft has shaken up significantly. Everything has changed.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. So, as of last week, we had River in 5th, Eris in 4th, I was in 3rd, John and Mike were in 2nd, and Lana was in 1st. Oh, how the tables have turned and shifted ever so slightly. And by ever so slightly, I mean a lot. Because the couple had both winners of this week's challenge. So, dropping into 5th place is Eris with 55 points. Dropping into 4th is me with 61. River has popped up to 3rd with 62. Lana has dropped into 2nd with 65. And John and Mike have popped up into 1st place with 70 points.
Good for them. The couple clearly aren't two boys, one brain.
Mm-hmm.
Love them.
It pays off to have Elle and Paige.
Yeah.
So...
Not mad at this. Next week we're gonna have a top 7 Snatch game, and yeah, it appears that the preview was pretty juicy, especially in regards to Selexa.
Ooh, yeah, I'm intrigued to see that. I am most excited because thank you, Drag Race UK, for doing the smartest thing you could do and bringing Susan Wokoma onto the panel for Snatch Game. Thank you. I cannot wait for Susan Wokoma. I am so excited. I'm so excited.
And also, it's going to be changed format, so we have not exactly a Snatch Game, but yeah.
Snatch me out.
It's like a celebrity get me out of here. We'll see. We shall see.
I'm going to hate it. I already know I'm going to hate it. So come back next week to hear how much I hate it. And on that note, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us for this lovely Rusical recap. Make sure to tune in next week for all of my thoughts on how much I hate it, probably, and some extra special fun. In the meantime, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We are on the doorstep of 3,000 subscribers here on this channel, so we greatly appreciate all of your support. Make sure to check out all of our socials, check out everything we're doing across the Cup Network, and go get your merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So cheers, you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.